So an article came out regarding Jimmy Safechuck's claims within the same day as Wade Robson's new claims. Are you gonna try telling me that's a coincidence? Who the fuck do you think you're talking to? So let's just get into this. This is meant to be a video by Jimmy Safechuck, but it's going to be a little mixed together. The first thing that I need to address is very important because it relates to the end of the previous video where I talked about what is going on. Why is it that Mike is going on about the floodgates? What does he have planned? Does he have anything planned at all? Does he know something that even the lawyers don't know? Are the haters making things up worse than before because they're getting desperate? Are they just trying to piss off fans? Well, there was some information floating around, and what I managed to come up with the help of a friend, was that for a while, Mike Parr has been friends with a man named Dylan Howard. He writes for RadarOnline.com. This would actually be supported based on the fact that Mike seems to post articles from this website to his fan page within minutes after they get released. And the floodgates is actually not what he's trying to manipulate people into thinking. He doesn't have any super special amazing evidence that's going to fuck us up and scare us half to death. No, the floodgates are simply the articles that he's helping to write. What Mike is actually doing is he's helping to write out these articles with Dylan Howard that are completely ridiculous and falsified because he's trying to make MJ look as bad as possible and Wade and Jimmy as good as possible, because this is totally what a non-sociopathic advocate does. That's all the floodgates are. It's just these stupid articles that are going to keep coming out regarding Jimmy Safechuck, Wade Robson, and these anal rapes and all this ridiculous stuff. I don't know how much involved Mike truly is behind the scenes with the real journalists and stuff, but as far as I know, he is friends with Dylan Howard, who writes for RadarOnline.com, and this is how Mike is able to post and find articles within minutes, or if not seconds, after they're written, and sometimes even before they're written. So, Mike has now been caught. The next thing I want to say is, actually, you know what? These next few articles, I think I want to read them with fitting music. And I'll tell you why. Because as of lately, this is what's been going on. Stories have been so ridiculous that they actually make the accusers, Wade and Jimmy, look more guilty and less honest than they already do. You see, the intent with all these articles and these stories and these details is to make their case stronger and their case stronger and their case stronger. But the stories are so ridiculous, it's actually making them look weaker. The fact that Wade piles on all these sexual acts that he can't back up. The fact that both an article on Jimmy and an article on Wade came in on the same day. Bullshit. That's a fucking coincidence. Obviously, since they both have the same lawyer and they're all being written by the same person off the same website, it means that these things are being pushed out intentionally just to piss people off. That's all it is. Nothing more, nothing less. The fact of what these articles say, the titles and the details they go into, the things they explain, the things they mention and talk about, it's like, what am I reading? It's so insane. I shouldn't even have to explain how insane it is. Once I tell you what's written, you won't even believe it. But I have 3 articles to go through. This is going to be a lot of fun. So please enjoy, and believe me, this music is going to fit these stories perfectly. Cue the music, and let us begin. So a long time ago, Real MJ Facts stated on Twitter that he found evidence that's going to destroy Michael Jackson. What was it? Well, it's not other than saying that Michael Jackson's estate has decided that they want to pay Wade Robson money to make him go away. And this is going to make Michael Jackson even guiltier than when he paid off Jordan Chandler in 1993. But here's the problem. As usual, Real MJ Facts and every other MJ hater in the world has no evidence to back up a single thing they shit out of their ass. So, the real truth is this. Just days after Michael Jackson's molestation, accuser Wade Robson filed explosive court documents detailing alleged graphic sexual acts inflicted on the choreographer when he was a child by the King of Pop. A lawyer from the estate of the singer exclusively tells RadarOnline.com that there have been no settlement talks with him, and there are no plans to do so. Famed attorney Howard Weitzman, representing the estate of Michael Jackson, told Radar, "There are no settlement discussions with Mr. Robson, nor do we anticipate any ever taking place." Supporters of Robson speculated on social media that the estate would be willing to enter settlement talks with him based on court documents. The speculation was based on a legal document in which there was a box marked checking indicating a willingness to settle the case. However, Wiseman told us those documents were only procedural and filed in all civil cases in California as dictated by law. So again, for the maybe 10 billionth time, the MJ haters shout out more information, misinterpreted information, read it wrong, and told the Twitter or whatever, or on Facebook, "We got the MJ fans, even though once again you're fucking wrong." Okay, I hope the music's still going. Let's keep reading this shit. The next article is about Wade Robson. You thought it was ridiculous that Wade was able to make up all these accusations that Michael did this and touched this and fucked this and banged this and stick his penis in this? And there was like, what, maybe 15 or 20 things that Michael Jackson couldn't possibly have done unless he was a fucking... Wow, I don't have a word for it, but all I can tell you is that it was so ridiculous. I mean, why didn't it come out when he was talking to Matt Lauer? Like I said in my last video, click the link below to watch it. But let's keep going. Michael Jackson forced a young Wade Robson to pose naked on all fours. His lawyer demands MJ estate to admit it. He already wanted him to admit the first 20 things that were written down in the first article, but now he wants him to admit this as well. Just keep piling things on, see what sticks. That's the tactic we're going to use. Just keep saying, and eventually someone's going to agree with us. Someone's got to agree with us. Michael Jackson has been accused of sexually assault before, but the new allegations from former child star and choreographer Wade Robson include one of the most graphic and disturbing claims yet. In new court documents obtained by RadarOnline.com, Robson's attorneys asked Jackson's estate to admit that the King of Pop forced him to pose naked on all fours while Jackson allegedly masturbated to the site. Oh God. The documents filed in Robson's case against MJJ Productions, Jackson's estate revealed that Robson is seeking admission that between 1990 and 97, Jackson committed several disturbing acts against Robin at his ranch in Santa Barbara County and elsewhere. As Radar has reported, the documents are full of graphic claims, but one section asks the estate to admit that during the time of approximately 1990 through 97, sexual activities began. Stop repeating the same damn thing. It includes Michael Jackson masturbating while watching Wade Robson from behind on all fours, naked, with his knees and palms extended like a dog on all fours. Oh my God, what am I fucking watching? Reading, whatever. Okay, was that enough for you? Let's continue. Next article. James Safechuck, one of Michael Jackson's molestation accusers, says the King of Pop used secret code words for the sex acts they allegedly engaged in. Think duck butter. Now go find something to vomit into. Like Wade Robson, who has filed bombshell documents asking the Stardust estate to admit Michael Jackson raped him, Safechuck makes some serious allegations too on the same day, probably the same time too. Probably both articles written at the same time. Now 36, Safechuck, similar as lawsuits claim molest him at age 10 when he traveled with Michael on the Bris Bag Tour. This was in 1988. Safechuck claims that Michael taught him to use code words referring to his erection as Bright Light Brick City and calling him his semen duck butter. Not only that, the accuser claims Jackson used secret signals. The two would hold hands, he says, and when Michael started scratching the inside of James's hands with his finger, I guess he means like this, I don't know why that didn't come up before. I mean, yeah, when he was in court and he was saying stuff like, did Michael ever have a code for you, or did Michael ever try and signal you? Why not? Why did this ever come up? Okay. The two would hold hands, he says, and when Safechuck says Jackson wanted a full-blown relationship with him, keeping him out of school and performing a full-on wedding ceremony with the boy. If it's even possible, the allegations actually get worse. He says Jackson took him to a place nicknamed The Hideout in Century City to drink sweet pink wine and watch porn of small children masturbating. On a bizarre note, Safechuck says at one point he developed a crush on Sheryl Crow, who was one of Jackson's backup singers, and Michael was furious. Showing him unflattering pictures of Crow without makeup, a jealous Jackson clearly tried to dissuade the youngster from the heterosexual tendencies. When he reached puberty, he says the abuse ceased. The allegations against Jackson, who long denied the child molestation claims while he was alive and whose estate continues to do so now, show no sign of doing so. Cut the music! You now have one piece of evidence you can give us. You see, this is it, guys. This is it. If this article wasn't insane enough, get this. Shall we go back a bit? Safechuck says Jackson wanted a full-blown relationship with him, keeping him out of school and performing a full-on wedding ceremony with the boy. I assume this wedding ceremony involved some piece of material, maybe a marriage certificate of some sort, a fake ring of some sort. If you want to prove that any part of this article is actually true and not just from the demented, sociopathic, twisted mind of Wade Robson, Jimmy Safechuck, your lawyer, and possibly someone else like Mike Parr and Diane Diamond, you can provide proof of a specific item, like a wedding document, had this actually be a real thing. Prove it. Prove it. Now's your chance. You can get proof. If any part of this is true, you can get proof. Show us it. And make sure it's not fake. Don't write it yourself. Don't print it off from your printer yourself. Show us the real one. If you fail, that means that we win yet again. You're wrong. You're a fucking liar. And if these 4 articles weren't fucking hilarious enough, my god. Wade Robson proved to be desperate. Jimmy Safechuck proved to be desperate. Real MJ Facts proven to be a wrong liar yet again. Mike Parr proven to be a sociopath and also be in cahoots with Dylan Howard, who's working with Radar Online. Can these people get any more fucked up? Wait and see here on Matt's FTR. Fuck you.